Rio, how's it going today?
Good.
Getting ready to go on is this your first skydive?
This is my first solo, so to speak.
All right.
With my two instructors.
How you feeling about that?
Good.
Excited?
Very excited, so we'll see.
All right, well, show us what you know. Don't forget to pull, all right?
Yes, definitely.
Level 1. How you feeling now?
Well, today was a deciding factor for me on whether or not I was going to continue with the course based off of the training, the orientation, the safety procedures, protocols, going over that 8-hour course, plus the staff, including yourself, making the student feel at ease. I'm continuing on.
Sounds good.
Continuing on.
Hello everyone, welcome back. Thank you for watching my first video, and now we're going on to the second video. As I mentioned in my previous video, that I'm actually going to undertake the AFF course, or the Accelerated Free Fall Skydiving course, so that I can be a licensed skydiver. So just to let you know, this video I will highlight some of the things, because it was a 6 to 8 hour course that I spent before I actually did my solo jump. So 3 things that I will briefly highlight, so this will be quick so that you can actually enjoy the video. So the first thing that we actually talked about was actually the gear. So when we talk about the gear, we're going to talk about altitude awareness, and then of course the emergency procedure. And so one of the things that you will hear me say a lot would be, just in case anything goes wrong. Let me tell you a little bit of a story prior to me actually completing my first solo jump. I actually took it upon and said, what is the definition of skydiving? And so looked it up on Google, and so here it comes. I did not realize that skydiving is actually an extreme sport. So, it made me laugh after I actually reading that. As far as the definition of skydiving. So just to let you know, before you go into anything, make sure you actually do a little bit of research. So it is an extreme sport. There has some physical limitations to skydiving, so you need to be a little bit in shape to actually undertake this activity. So it is not for everyone. After taking the 6 to 8 hour course, it is not for everyone. The tandem, otherwise, that's really fun. So if you have tandem skydiving on your bucket list, yeah, I would highly recommend that, because you're jumping with an instructor, or actually a guy strapped to your back, and he's doing all the controlling and so on. Make sure that you do the tandem skydiving if you haven't done so. It's a very nominal fee to actually do it, and it's a fun activity, and you can be in and out of there in 3 to 4 hours. With that in mind, let's get into the AFF course level 1. So talk about 3 things. Your equipment. So during the course, of course, They talked about the equipment, the harness, and the gear that you're actually putting on. And of course, being important, should anything go wrong with your parachute, you need to be aware of where actually things are situated on your gear. What happens at this altitude if this goes wrong? What happens at this altitude if this goes wrong? So you need to be familiar with your gear. So they actually had us go through motions, finding it on our harness. They strapped a harness to us and actually did several times, not just once, twice, three times, as many times that the instructor needed to repeat it, because of course not everyone is at the same level to where they understand or have the same physical ability and so on, or even mental ability, because that's what she was trying. We had a lady instructor, so she was gauging on to see whether or not we were receptive to actually her giving directions and so on. So, and throughout the course, they will test you to see whether or not you actually understood what they are actually saying, and they go through the actual motions of actually making sure that you actually do understand. And at each segue or at each section, they would actually do a test. So that is your gear. So those are some of the things that is very important. Then the next subject matter is the altitude awareness, and this is probably, in my opinion, the most important part, because if you know what altitude you are at, you know the type of options that you actually have available to you in order, should anything go wrong, actually you know what to do. Chute doesn't open, the chute gets tangled. What do you do? For each of the altitude, what do you do at 12,500 feet if something goes wrong? At 6,000 feet, if this happens, what do you do? At 5,500 feet, what do you do if this happens, and so on? 2,500 feet, what happens? At 1,000 feet, what are you limited to as far as options in being able to do? At 1,000 feet, what do you do at 600 feet? What do you do at 300 feet? So they had us actually memorize. Well, for me, I was memorizing everything, trying to memorize everything, because I knew, my life really depended on it. And that's what they pretty much did, was your life depended on it, you better get this thing right. So that was an interesting approach in teaching and so on. So, but it was very important, and I understood it. There were students in the class who were a little bit not taking it so seriously, But anyway, so I don't want to talk about that. That was very important. So making sure that you actually check once you jump out of the plane, you know what altitude you're at, you know what to do, you know what you're doing, and should anything actually happen, you know what to do. So altitude awareness, that was one of the most important section. And then of course, the emergency procedure, the third item. The third item that I'm going to talk about is emergency procedure. Okay, at 12,000 feet, this happens. 12,500, this happens. What do you do? What are your options? 6,000 feet, what are your options? This happens. So they gave us all of the variety of things that could actually go wrong up there. 5,500 feet, this goes wrong. And then they give you all of the scenarios. If you see this to your chute, if you see this to your chute, if you see this to your chute, what are you actually able to do? What options do you have to actually resolve the situation? If it can be resolved. Yes, that's an honest statement. If it can be resolved. So what are your emergency procedures? At 2,500, 1,000, once you get into the 2,500, 1,000 feet, your options are very limited. So I found that very interesting. So again, skydiving is not for everyone. You have to be aware where they're located, what are your options at certain altitude. And so you need to know your emergency procedure, or what they would call EPs. And then of course, the most important part, you have to meet some requirements for actually passing the level 1. Because you have to actually memorize certain hand signals. When you're free falling, the wind is gusting, and even if you try to yell, you can't hear because of the wind. So what they were doing, what they had us do as a student was memorize every hand signals. You know, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? You know, and so on. So, you know, they had us memorize. Well, for me, I memorized them because, and then they tested us on it and go, so what does this mean? And so on. So, you know, you guys are probably laughing with all of my hand gestures, but those are actual hand signals for skydiving. So, you know, what's this? What does this mean? What does this mean? And so on. So anyway, those are some of the things that I actually experienced. You know, when the chute opened, I was literally flying by myself without anyone to help me out. It was a neat experience. And so with that, you know, I hope you enjoyed the video, you know, because the video itself, I actually gave two perspectives. One perspective was an actual outside videographer shooting at us, and then I also retrieved the one where it's the actual instructor's point of view. He had a camera looking at us firsthand. He was to my left. That was another perspective. So I put them, you know, together to where so you can see what they were actually seeing as far as an instructor, and then also, of course, the videographer, which actually took a video shot of us, all three of us, you know, two instructors and myself, going through my qualifications and so on. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching the channel. By the time this is actually uploaded, I would have probably completed, I'll be doing my third jump, and so please watch out for the next video, because I will tell you exactly what I felt, what was I thinking during that time period and so on. So again, enjoy life to the fullest, and just do it now. Thank you. See you at the next video. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and so please subscribe to the link below. Subscribe to my channel, and then, you know, throw a like in there. And then, of course, if you want to be informed of any videos that I actually upload, please hit that little bell, and so that you can be informed whenever I actually upload a video. So again, thank you for watching. Enjoy life, live life to the fullest, enjoy each moment, and just do it. Thank you. See you on the next video.